and welcome to this week's Wax Pack Dad New Year's special top 20. I'm not going to waste too much time, but some weird things you'll notice is Topps took 17 out of the 20, and football cards reign supreme. I did add 2 non-sports cards, but you guys are going to just have to bear with me on it because I ripped them. They're valuable, kind of, sort of. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this. We're going to kind of do it semi-live. I've taped it the day before, but hopefully we can have some good comments. And if you disagree with any of the rankings, totally fine. Just chip them in there. And before I say it again, I am so blessed to have such a cool group of people following me, watching the rips, win, lose, or draw.
Well, here's about 4 that didn't quite make the cut. The often maligned Rickey Henderson 81 scratch off, RIP Rickey. I am glad that one Rickey did make the list this year, so spoiler alert. And then a 1991 Impel Ric Flair, Mario Lemieux 86-87 All-Star, and a rookie card of Gary Zimmerman. All these in PSA 10, other than the Flair, are about $120 to $160, so not a ton of value if they are in perfect condition, though I do like that Zimmerman because I do collect offensive linemen. So those are basically 21 to 24 on the list, so hope you enjoy them. And if you feel like, these are garbage, or if one of these guys should have snuck in, that's great. But let's get to number 20. Okay. Starting off with number 20, just barely making the list, which is crazy. One of the best doubles hitters of all time, Wade Boggs. Value about $150 in PSA 10 and maybe $25 in PSA 9. Nice looking card there, relatively well centered. And then back-to-back Boggs at about $190 in PSA 10 and another $25 in PSA 9, a little off-centered. Once again, Mr. Wade Boggs. We'll move these guys over. And then we have our Rickey. So we have our one Dunn Ross and one Fleer of the whole top 20. Number 18, Post Serial. Let me put him in there a little bit more. There we go. Beautiful card. PSA 10, about $190. We'll put him a little bit closer into the light there. And it did not have any sales for PSA 9, but for Rickey collector, not a lot of those floating around. And number 16, we've got a beautiful, pretty well centered 1979 Joe Morgan. This jumps up in price a little bit at $397 in PSA 10 and $38 in PSA 9. Not probably quite good enough to be graded, but certainly we'll put him up there a little bit. And number 15, and we'll move Mr. Boggs aside here. Should have gotten invested in another pedestal, but oh well, right? I didn't think this had the value, but recently, this Ken Griffey Jr. rookie that I pulled out of a box of 89 Don Ross is, drum roll please, $349. So beats the Joe Morgan by $2, and in PSA 9, $28. So here is your 15 to 20. So values go up quite a bit into the high hundreds in the next 5. But that's kind of how I graded them. That's kind of a nice year. That's 15th ranked card of the year pulled from Pack Fresh Cards. So, all right, let's get to number 10 through 14. Maybe a little bit of controversy on this one. This is one of 2 Impel cards. Never thought I'd say that on the top 20 show, but number 14 is going to be Spider-Man. Very close to being a perfect card. A little bit of dust there, but believe it or not, I pulled that. Was one of those shows where nobody liked it, nobody watched. So I probably won't ever do a comic book show again. But you know, if it's got value, it's got value. So this is a 1991 Impel, recently sold for, and I do averages, not just recently sold, and not for what's selling, but what has been sold. $441 in PSA 10. Does not have a comp in PSA 9 recently. So I thought pretty cool. This is kind of a weird one. Not a weird card, and it does have a little bit of damage on the side of it too. So, you know, I'm not going to lose any sleep over ranking this, 13 out of the list. Reggie Jackson, PSA 10. There has been a sale for $3,000. That is a total anomaly. I would be surprised if this was, a $400 to $500 card in PSA 10, about $40 in PSA 9. I was surprised at that. I didn't even pull it out originally. So we'll put him here. And then next on the list, and a lot of these cards came from the same pack, which is super awesome, is a 1981 Johnny Bench. He's been in storage for too long here. A little off center. And the Johnny Bench is $543 in PSA 10, $197 in PSA 9, which tells me that it's maybe a little bit undervalued in the 10 range. Because usually the 10s will have less sales, obviously. So anyway, this is number 12. I think I pulled a Joe Morgan out of that pack too. And then we have a 1985 Dwight Gooden, left to right, not too bad, up to down, not the greatest of all time there, but the Gooden, $593 in PSA 10, $39 in PSA 9. We'll take Spidey down from here, and a very beautiful card here of Mike Munchak, and I'm going to clean these cards out, the holders. They've been collecting a little bit of dust here as I was going through them. Mike Munchak, Hall of Fame rookie with the Oilers. Really nice, well-centered, and I'll tell you, it is hard to get good grades on black bordered cards. So if you ever find those 86 tops, 85 or 86 tops baseball, 85 tops football, I think 72 tops baseball as well, or maybe 71 as well. But really nice card. The Munchak goes for $595 in PSA 10. A lot of that comes from the fact that it's near impossible to find it, but $41 for PSA 9 is no slouch. And I see a little bit of defect there. I'd be lucky to pull probably a 7 from this card, so I probably won't get it graded, but I do like offensive linemen. I do collect them. So there is 10 to 14, Mike Munchak, number 10. Still not too bad to be able to pull these cards. Pack fresh once again, but the top 10 is going to blow you away. So let's get at it. Oh, how come I have two pedestals for the next card? So number 9 and number 8 are both the same card. Not really the same, but I pulled them out of the same cello pack. That is crazy. I got the first, I don't even know if it was 14 or 15 cards. Can't keep these freaking things on here. So that was really cool. 84 is obviously super popular. I wish I would have gotten a little bit more centered. But the 84 tops sells in PSA 10 for $785. In PSA 10, $198 in PSA 9, and a cool $60 in PSA 8. Unfortunately, neither of those three options are going to work there. And then I'm going to pull in Mr. Carlton Fisk. This is another card. I did get a lot of, I think, well-centered cards here. So this is from the 79 set. I pulled a Joe Morgan and Carlton Fisk out of a rack pack, 28 cards. So I was pretty happy about that. I love the 79 design. It looks old, which is kind of cool, kind of vintage, if you will. 747 and 106 for the two grades there. And then, let's see what we pulled in. Oh, I'm missing. You'll never believe which one I'm going to pull up here is a 1991 Impel Galactus rookie, which looks really nice. Just a little off center there. Selling for $902 in PSA 10. So obviously the comic book nerds, you know who you are. Really like that card. So that definitely made it. And then to fill out the top 5, we'll pull out, hey, quit knocking around Galactus. We have a Gibby rookie. Put him up here. Beautiful card, high $700, almost $100 in PSA 9. Really nice looking card. Little bit of side damage on that, unfortunately, but the side story behind the Gibson is I opened, if you remember, like a 30 pack run, 30 years of Topps. And this was the first pack I opened, by far the best card. So I had to laugh at that literally I could have just stopped then. So very nice card, and we're going to get to the top 5. Well, number 5. And I pulled the Dwight Gooden in the same, it was a cello pack, believe it or not. So, nice looking card. You know, you can't get a perfectly centered, perfectly four-cornered card if you paid for it, but, you know, nice card. Maybe a 7, 7.5 there. But it's just a little bit over $1,000. So, pretty good one there. And kind of subjective here. I'm going to put in number 4, Mr. Roger Staubach. Now, Mr. Roger Staubach, where the Clemens is selling for a little over $1,000 in PSA 10, the Staubach's selling for a little under $1,400. Now, with the Staubach, in PSA 9, selling for $95. So, I'm not sure why the discrepancy there. But that's why a card, which is going to be popping out right now, I think has got a little bit more value, which is Mr. Bo Jackson. This I might get graded. So pull him up here. Very nice card. But his card is going well above the 300, the 1200s, but then also well into the hundreds in PSA 9. So I think I counted more than 20 cards, and I don't know if that's just because I counted the Walter Payton twice. I didn't mean to do that. But if you'll notice, I've already had 3 Paytons on the list. So make it 4 with a 1985 Walter Payton. Oh, I thought that was that's a dog hair in there. Oh. A 1985 Walter Payton. Really nice card. PSA 9 selling for something like $300+. So we'll move a couple of these guys over. We'll keep the Clemens in for visibility, just so that people know that I did actually rip baseball cards this year. So number 2 on the list is a Donnie Shell rookie card. Beautiful, good centering on it. The only issue is, as you can see above the L, there is a little bit of ink splotch on that, and that's so disappointing. In PSA 10, this is a $5,600 card, and it is $150 to $200 in PSA 9. It's interesting, though, going in, I had you all vote on favorite cards of the 79 set, and Donnie Shell was dead last, but Pittsburgh Steeler fans certainly get their due when it comes to buying those cards. So I'm going to move these guys around just a little bit. Gosh darn it. Good thing these things are encased in carbonite. So, the best card of the year, in my opinion, that I pulled, would have to be another Walter Payton. So the 4th Payton on the list, pulled in 85, 284s. And this is a 1979 Walter Payton. 4 good corners on it. I looked at it. It is nice. The centering is off. But in PSA 10, if you were lucky enough to pull this, is actually worth more than almost every card in the set, which is incredible. Even Earl Campbell has recently sold for $14,000 plus in PSA 10, $395 in PSA 9, and in 8, a solid $79. And I think it's going. I think it's in good condition like this, probably could sell for $30 to $40 just in raw, ungraded cards. So that was a pretty cool one. So I guess that's, I'll put the Payton back here too. That is my top 5 for the year. Did I grade people too harsh? Not harsh enough? What are your thoughts with it? So if you feel like someone should have been graded higher or lower, feel free to comment. Hope you guys are doing well on New Year's Eve, that you, if you do happen to have a couple brewskis, please take an Uber or have a designated driver. Love to see you guys back for 2025. And once again, stay safe and God bless each and every one of you.